The next presentation is by lighting designer Jeffrey Boynton. Jeffrey worked with Ann Kale Associates lighting design firm in New York City, and then followed Ann's office out here to the Los Angeles area before going to work as a senior lighting designer for Buro Happold, which is an international consulting engineering firm based here in LA. And in addition to doing architectural lighting, he also does temporary lighting and event lighting in the Los Angeles area. Yeah.
Thanks, Ben. See, hoping this microphone still works, as it does. I too got my background in lighting through theater. My earliest inspiration to get involved in lighting was a production of Les Miserables. Following that, I changed my major from electrical engineering and proceeded to take every lighting-related, theater-related course I could. What I was struck by, I think, is the ability of light on the stage to tell the emotional component of the story. The ability of light to create tension on stage between two factions or two plot lines, to focus light where you want it to be. The ability of lighting with sort of a muted tone in the background to sort of suggest a more internal or quiet mood as opposed to a busy outward movement. Through these slides, I'm going to show a number of projects I've worked on, and hopefully the main inspiration with this is really the way the light moves. Light moves emotionally, or light moves actually. I'm a bit of a geek as well, so these sort of sci-fi inspirations for lighting, with light as a weapon, light as a portal, interactive light that you wear. These things are becoming more and more a part of our environment as the sources can be integrated into different things. This project is something I was fortunate to work on that was at the Coachella Valley Music Festival, where I was able to use all LED lighting for one of the first times and really play with the different color on the structure, which was opposite one of the main stages and served as a shade pavilion during the day. There was interaction between a huge fire cannon on the top, the people below interacting with the music or getting a moment, and this also sort of served as a beacon in this large festival, place where people could easily see to agree to meet or to gather. Again, playing with the color interaction. Growing up, I traveled a lot, mostly in the US, but more recently, some trips abroad. These pictures are from China, and I've also lived in a number of different places and have been really struck by the difference of light quality between Phoenix, where I went to school, New York City, where I spent some time, and now the West Coast. And a lot of inspiration comes from these sort of memories or feelings I have about these places, the luminous quality of these different places. Also, a lot of inspiration from natural texture and pattern, which figured a lot into theatrical lighting. Luminous surfaces or forms, either backlit surfaces or actual lines of lighting sources themselves, have figured a lot into projects that I've worked on. In this case, looking at the backlighting of materials and integrating light details into the scenario. This project, in the middle of a busy casino in Las Vegas, uses sort of different luminance patterns. It's sort of soft, luminous, with the punctuated by these more literal lines of light and this sort of variation on the glass curtain to sort of beckon into a space that on the right becomes sort of a private area, a private club, sort of separated from the rest of the casino, as opposed to the restaurant, Catch restaurant down in Santa Monica, where you're invited to look out to these fantastic vistas down on the beach, and how lighting in different planes can help to move your eye through those spaces in different ways, whether internally or externally. In this project, again in Las Vegas, this roof system punctuated with light helped to create sort of a lid on the space that also attracted attention from various places within the casino. And then how this translates into a residential project or a place where you're going to spend a lot of your time. The difference between a bar or a venue where you're there for a little bit versus somewhere that should be more soft and inward, either through the lighting of an art program or built-in light details. Back to the natural inspiration, different luminous forms in nature, the color variation and different cloud formations depending on where you are in the country. The color of light coming through molten magma, the more crystalline sort of bright feeling of light through ice, which I saw a lot of growing up in Maine. This sort of translates into some of these contemporary architectural forms of luminous volumes, as in the case in the upper left, a transit terminal in the middle of the neighborhood, or the sort of sky dome of the project down at USC. Light over time and the way that different light sources in relation to an object is also something that is really inspired by the images of time-lapse photography of the stars. Moving light sources such as the sun were main inspiration for this piece, which was in the desert of Nevada, and limitation was actually a driver in this one because we didn't have much access to a generator or power. So we wrapped highly reflective tape around the ends of the bamboo, and the participants' headlamps, which were their primary source of light in the middle of the desert, helped to activate and describe this form at night after the generators went off. This project I'm currently working on in Saudi Arabia, these two volumes sort of in sky tones, these cloud-like sort of formations over these outdoor areas. Again, this sort of ties in a lot of the different things that I've talked about, where the facade concept for this is an LED facade where light literally moves across the facade. It's not a fully pixelated media facade, but sort of a suggestive of the pattern and variation of color within clouds. It could also be programmed to, the twinkle of stars, that sort of thing. But the idea behind this facade representing something that in the skyline that it replaces. This is bird's eye view of the same project. Some of these ideas of luminous forms in these canopies that are over the entrances, literal lines of light cut into the pavement that let daylight into the spaces below and help direct your eye to the entrances. Thank you.